Dr. Phil is now involved with deportations.
What's your name?
Seda.
That's right.
Sarah.
Yep.
Yes.
Where you from?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where you born?
Thailand.
Thailand. Okay.
You been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with?
Charged where?
How did they put Dr. Phil in charge of immigration? How did this like people? I saw this and people are saying he's doing side quests.
Before?
How did this happen?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer.
Yeah.
This
Are you
is
a
crazy.
citizen?
This is the first week.
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen,
Yes.
but you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
We Dr. Phil. We got Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children. And he's walking the streets of Chicago.
Oh God.
Again, the
Yeah.
downfall.
You know me?
The problem with the sanctuary
How?
city that
TV?
people are just walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents.
Yeah.
This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
What do you mean by that?
Not really? And never been deported?
Nope.
Not really.
Huh. Let's take them in, process them, lock them up.
Alright, can you get a transport vehicle? Working on it.
Oh God. Why are they so chill? Well, you think about it, right? I mean, if you're a cop, do you want to have a battle royale every single time that you have to have an interaction? Fuck no. Absolutely not. So your best case scenario is that is thank God there's not a situation.
Wonder where they go, who picks them up. This is who picks them up. This is who lures them out on the internet and they disappear or they get raped and their life's changed forever. And he
Dr.
shouldn't
Phil.
even be here, but he's doing this. But they don't raise their hand and say, hey, there's somebody that doesn't even have the right to be here
Yeah.
that's preying upon our children and they don't tell you about it.
Exactly, and this governor, Governor Pritzker, and the mayor, they want to vilify the men and women of ICE. ICE saved children today. ICE saved children today. And it makes me angry. Governor Pritzker the other day went on the internet, social media, saying ICE was attacking our elementary school. He's scaring children. He's scaring the neighborhood, putting fear in the community. We're doing the exact opposite. We're saving children. Every sexual predator we arrest means more safe children. So God bless the men and women of ICE. As you've seen today, we're not sweeping neighborhoods. This is a target enforcement operation. We spend a lot of time investigating these people. We know exactly who we're looking for. So it's a
I can't imagine, like, I mean, who are the people that are against this? These are people that are like sexual predators that they're getting them. Like who's like, oh, I can't believe this. How could this happen?
target enforcement operation. It's the right thing to do.
Well, let's talk about how methodical this was, because you guys had this
Selena
man,
Gomez. I feel like more people should draw attention to that. That these people are crying up a storm over criminals, like violent criminals in some cases, sexual predators being deported. Like, because the thing is that the reason why these people are crying and looking for this attention, it's for optics, right? Because, like, it's clearly not rational. So, like, they're doing it for emotions and for, like, you know, good boy points. You have to shift the narrative away from these are all of these nice, good people. No, this is not what's happening at all. It's virtue signaling. Yeah, I feel like this is the reason why the public has shifted. It's because that narrative is already shifting. Yeah, Obama deported 3.8 million, double standards for Trump. Well, I mean, like, people called him the deporter in chief. I remember that. Yeah, no, he did. He deported a lot of fucking people. Obama definitely did. People might not like Obama, but that's what happened.
This monster on the list, and they've been sitting on this guy for 2 or 3 days to try to get where he was and his pattern, and you were actually able to ping his cell phone and get him on the move so he could be picked up on the street rather than if he got to his
Convicted criminals are not walking the streets. They're being dishonest with the language they use. I mean, do you think they're totally lying? I mean, I don't know.
dwelling, wherever that is, and got behind a closed door, then he could have sat there and you didn't have the right to go in and get him if he sits behind that door, right?
Not without a criminal arrest warrant, but that's exactly the point. He could have been arrested at a county jail in the safety and security of county jail by one officer.
Right.
But we spent hundreds of hours to investigate him, try to find out where he is, and we did find him. It takes a whole team for officer safety reasons to arrest him. Right. It's not efficient. We could arrest many more criminals if you let us in the jail. It's just a lot harder to find these guys out in the public. These guys don't want to be found. They're in the wind. It takes a lot of investigative work to find them. Let us in the jail. Don't let them hit the street. It saves officers time. It's safer for the community. It's safer for the alien. It's safer for the officer. But spending hundreds of hours of investigation to find this guy when we could have got him in 5 minutes at the Cook County Jail.
Okay.
You're right.
Tell me.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just can't believe they got him out here doing side quests and shit. This is nuts. Like, I think that is there another one of these? No. Oh, here it is. One more.
The problem that we have with some of the pushback that ICE has been getting from the sanctuary cities is they're saying, no, we don't want to cooperate with you. We don't want to give you access to some of the people that we may have arrested that may be in jails. You need to go get warrants. And we may give bail to these people. We may have a no bail situation and have them in for a time and turn them back out. And here's the point.
You know, this reminds me a little bit of, remember how those guys that like catch the weird people trying to meet up with kids? There was one guy that did it, and he had like a To Catch a Predator show. And while they were catching the guy, Akon was singing a song about the guy getting arrested. And like, you know, they just really turned it into content.
That ICE has made, and I think it's a good one.
Remember that? Yeah.
If these people are in detention and ICE agents can come into the jail and arrest them there and put them on the path towards deportation at that point, they can do that in complete safety. It's a controlled environment. Whereas tomorrow, later today actually, we're going to have to go after these people out in a free environment where an apartment complex or an apartment project where there are a lot of civilians around. And if they resist, if they open fire on these agents who have to return fire, then people can get caught in the crossfire. If a car chase ensues, things can happen where people are put at risk. If they're turned over while they're in jail, all of that goes away.
He's completely right. It's insane how much these people want to endanger everybody else for their own perceived virtue. It really is. It's a crazy, crazy amount of people that are doing this. And it's directly putting citizens in danger. Well, the reason why I think it happens is because these are people that don't necessarily have to have any accountability for it going wrong. These are people that can vote on, you know, kicking these problems downstream to, you know, some other state that has to deal with it, and then they don't have to think about it at all. And so that's basically, that's it. But it seems like, I'm going to be real, like it seems like they are popping the fuck off now. Like, I feel like they need to get way more people if they want to deport at least a lot of them. But I think that the approach of this is pretty reasonable. I'm liberal. Very few people actually want criminals to not be deported or in prison. Well, the thing is that if people don't want them to be deported, like if that's actually true, then why are these policies there? Why are they not cooperating with the government? Yeah, then why don't you? Then do it.
So DHS sources confirm to Fox News, New York City is the next target for ICE raids as deportation efforts continue in Chicago. This as over 1,200 illegal immigrants who were charged or convicted with committing crimes on American soil are detained nationwide. ICE Chicago Field Office Director Sam Olson has been on the ground working directly with Border Czar Tom Homan, and he's been kind enough to join us now. Special Agent, thanks so much for joining the program.
Hi, thanks. Thanks very much for having me.
So tell us, how does this process work? How do you find these people? And tell us some of the folks that y'all been able to capture so far.
Sure. Yeah, it's kind of an arduous process, right? We're in a difficult situation here in Chicago because a lot of the targets that we're looking at were previously arrested by local or state authorities, and we've placed holds on many of them, and they were released from the facility into the communities again.
I just don't see how you can defend that. I don't. How do you defend this? This is ridiculous.
So we have to go through, spend a lot of hours researching where they're living, and then actually go out into their environment to try to arrest them.
So, Special Agent, just to put this in context for our audience, these folks didn't only commit crimes in their home country, but they came here to America and they committed crimes here as well, right?
That is correct, yeah. We've had many targets here that have really kind of egregious convictions for sexual assault, for murder, for aggravated battery, drug possession. We've arrested gang members so far. So yeah, there's just a litany of criminal convictions that the targets that we've arrested have.
The fuck is this? How is this? This is insane.
Special Agent, I was able to see some of the footage that you have, and I saw not only ICE, which is probably leading this effort, but I saw DEA as well as ATF for this joint task force. But I also was told that you have a DOJ attorney to make sure you guys are doing this by the book. So tell us about that. Why do y'all have someone in the DOJ to make sure everything
is controversial to deport criminals? Aren't all illegal immigrants technically criminals? It's because of virtue signaling. That's the reason why. And people think that it's a good thing to have an underprivileged working class that doesn't have the same rights as citizens. People think that this is a good thing. I view it as immoral and also unethical. Personally, that's what I think. But, everybody's going to have different opinions.
Square.
It's really been amazing so far in this administration, the support that we've been getting. This is essentially like a unprecedented whole of government approach that we're experiencing. Yeah, because along with ICE, both enforcement and removal operations and Homeland Security investigations, we have agents from ATF, DEA, U.S. Marshals, and the FBI out here, and along with attorneys from DOJ and attorneys from our own ICE offices. So it's been an amazing the support that we're getting, because some things that have been difficult to coordinate before, because there's so many different agencies, we've been able to get everybody in the same room and get kind of real-time updates, real-time intelligence and real-time advice to make sure that we're doing this the right way.
Special Agent, I know fugitive task force are some of the most difficult situations for your agents that are there on the ground. They're very dangerous, especially people that have nothing to lose because they know they're going to be deported. I want to talk about some of the criticism from some of the people.
There's a lot of people that criticize. People are like, when you support fascist and Naziist billionaires, you can talk about ethics. That's cute. Naziist isn't a word. It's not a word. Just stop it. Take your meds. Take your meds, go lay down.
Media, as well as some people that may have different political views, they're saying that you guys are targeting people in schools, trying to break up communities. What would you say to those folks that don't really understand how this task force works?
Right, and what we're doing is we're targeting the worst first, right? That's who we're getting. We're focusing on those targets. We're not targeting people in schools. We're not targeting people in churches. We're targeting people who are the worst. There's a chance they're going to go to some of those places, and this administration has kind of taken some of the handcuffs.
It's not like a school is like oh you like what is the logic here? That like you can't get arrested if you're in a school? It's like a free zone. Yeah, you're on it's home base. It's the safe zone. Like, what is this? It's like a fucking video game. It's insane. How do you think like this? And I think this is what I was saying before about how it's all of these appeals to emotion. Whereas, like, when you think about it, is it really a good idea that there's a bunch of people that are, in some cases, unvetted, random people inside of a school where children are that aren't even citizens and they're committing a crime by even being there in the first place? Is this really good for kids in the first place? I think it's kind of not. Like, yeah, I would say, ooh, maybe not. Arrest kids at school. Yeah, like, what is this? But, like, you can see how this is, like, another element of, like, emotional manipulation. And there's no actual thinking behind this at all. It's just trying to invoke a sense of fear and hopefully get people to act on that fear.
It's off of us in a way, right? We're leaving the discretion with our officers, and our officers are trained to make good decisions out there, and we support them. And that's the one thing that we have to realize. These officers now, when we could have arrested somebody at a safe facility, right, a jail or a court lockup with one or two officers, and now we have to go out into the streets. Now most of our teams are at least 10 agents and officers trying to arrest one individual.
You know, Special Agent, you got a tough day today. I don't want to tip off the criminals, but what's the plan for the day?
The plan is today, just like we've been doing in the past, and just like we're going to do, each day going forward, we're going to have multiple teams out in the field in multiple cities looking for the worst of the worst.
Yeah. Special Agent, thank you for all that you do. I see you with your vest on. Keep it on and give my best to all the other agents that are there on the ground.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for the time. Appreciate the support, and thanks for helping us tell our story.
You got it, brother. Take care.
I feel like another big factor of this is that with a lot of these cases, you have these people that are like they're putting officers at risk too, because like if you have them in jail, like they're basically like unarmed, and you can just immediately get them right there. But like if you've got to go out and like catch them again, well, fuck. Okay, now they could run away. Somebody could get hurt. They could have a weapon. There are all these problems, and this is kind of what I was saying before about how I think that we have a huge issue nowadays where people are more concerned about the optics of something or how something makes them feel, rather than what the thing is itself. Is that these are people that aren't really trying to advocate for what is the best for anybody. They're just trying to push what makes them feel good or what makes them happy, or like feel like they're making the right decision or having the right opinion. It's fake empathy. Well, it's empathy at the expense of somebody else's safety. So they're basically saying that, well, we are so open-minded and we like these people so much that we're willing to put officers and other citizens' lives on the line in order for us to feel good about ourselves. That's basically what's happening. And I think, again, it's so tiresome. Crazy. So, yeah, at least you're not racist. I'd say you are. I mean, I feel like a lot of these things don't help. Like, they're not helping anybody at all. You're wrong. There are innocent people in a school or church that are just trying to earn a living killing people. Yeah, I don't think they're killing people either in a lot of cases. So, yeah, I'm tired of arguing with people on TikTok on how I should feel about this rather than all of us seeing it for what it is. Well, I think the problem is that a lot of modern politics is driven by optics and not by any sort of rationality. And that's really, I think, the core issue for everything. And it's that focus and that fixation around the optics rather than the rationality or what makes sense. It's a clown fest. Yeah, exactly. And like you see this a lot on Twitter, for example. And I think that, again, it's saying the thing that sounds good is more important than saying the thing that is good. And I feel like a lot of cases where, there are certain things that might sound bad, but in a lot of cases, it's actually the most healthy way to approach a problem. Guess what? That's the right way to do it. Stop arguing with stupid people. I don't know when the switch happened, but LSF is now 100% left-wing hysteria and virtue signaling. Well, all of Reddit is. Reddit's been, ever since the inauguration, Reddit has been having like a collective mental health crisis. And so, like, this is the way that I've dealt with, like, ex-girlfriends that have had this same problem. And, like, how this is. And so what you do is you just basically stop going on there. You just stop texting her for, like, a couple of hours. And then you come back and everything's fine. So that's the solution. That's the way it works. And so it's not really worth taking seriously. It's not worth listening to. It's not worth, trying to reason with these people. It's not reasonable at all.
Here first with more is Trump border czar Tom Homan. First, I guess I got to ask your reaction to Selena Gomez. I didn't see any postings of tears for all of the women and American citizens murdered, all the people that were raped, including children, all the other victims of violent crime, the American taxpayers putting out billions of dollars. I didn't see any tears on any of those issues. What was that all about?
Look, that was the best monologue I heard you do in years. That was your straight on. I can't say it better myself. We got a 250,000 Americans dead from fentanyl.
Yeah. It's the selective empathy. I think people are just. It's so tiresome. It's so tiresome and boring. It's so annoying.
Across that open border, where's the tears for them?
Yeah.
I've met with hundreds of angels, moms, and dads who were separated from their children because they buried them because they were killed by illegal alien. We got 500,000 children who are sex trafficked into this country, separated from their families, put in the hands of criminal cartels to be smuggled into the country. This administration can't find over 300,000. Where's the tears for them? Excellent monologue. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I mean, how many children do we think are missing now? Some 350,000? How many known terrorists do we know are in this country, or do we even know? How many known cartel members are in the country, or do we even know, or gang members? Do you know?
That's a lot.
We have no idea. We got 2.2 million known gotaways. We know because they're on video, drone traffic, eccentric traffic. 2.2 million people cross the border. We don't know who they are, where they came from, or why they're here. But they paid more to get away. They didn't want to turn themselves in and get a free airline ticket to the city of their choice, a free hotel room, 3 meals a day, free medical care. They paid more not to be fingerprinted, not to be vetted. That just scared the hell out of everybody. It scares the hell out of me.
I wonder why.
Yeah, by the way, we're looking at Joint Base Andrews, Donald Trump departing on Air Force One. Sometimes, occasionally, the media is there. If he does take any questions, it looks like he's going straight to Marine One, or maybe walking past it. I'm not really sure. If he goes to the microphones, we will cover that live. I'm watching you being interviewed, and it's a little bit surprising to me. But, they're worried about the cost. Well, how much does it cost to feed and house and offer health care and education? And Kamala Harris wanted to give taxpayer-funded...
Yeah, any type of law enforcement costs money. Like, it does. Any type of, arresting murderers costs money. Like, obviously, there is a cost incurred by doing something like this. It's not even a question.
Sex change operations to illegal immigrants. How much did that cost, Tom Homan?
I don't know how many of those
We're
actually
spending
happen.
multiple $1 billion every year on free hotel rooms, free plane rides, health care, our school systems, our hospitals, our trauma centers, our social services.
Yeah, I'd say
and
zero.
that's in perpetuity for probably 20 million illegal aliens. This operation is going to be expensive, but at the end of it, we're going to save the taxpayers billions of dollars. Plus, we're going to protect our national security. Plus, overdose of fentanyl is going to drop. Illegal alien crime is going to drop. Sex trafficking of women and children is going to drop. It's worth the investment. It's a one-time cost to secure this nation and make America safe again.
My biggest fear, and I've asked you this question before, is we do have these known terrorists and cartel members and gang members in the country. We do know they're here. We don't know where they are. We don't know where a lot of them are. It was good to see that your guys were able to get the Tren de Aragua, 50 of those guys this past weekend, I believe, in Colorado. However, I've got to imagine with people from over 200 countries, those known terrorists, are they? Is it safe to assume they're plotting, they're planning and scheming an attack on our homeland?
I don't think that they would do that. I mean, I'm sure that they're always like doing that, because that's what, I wonder if terrorists are doing the thing that makes them terrorists. Of course it's happening. But like to say this is like some kind of like super common thing, no, I wouldn't really think so. Like it's bad for business. Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of these people, even drug dealers, like anybody knows this. If like anybody who does anything illegal, the truth is that every person that I know that deals with things that are under the table, and I don't really know a lot of people that do this anymore. Like I'm talking about experience from like over 10 years ago with me. I'm an old man now. That lifestyle was never really my lifestyle, but I was at least tangential to it a very, very long time ago. And they are some of the most polite people that you'll ever meet, because these are people that value respect and honesty, because if they have something go wrong, they can't go to the government. They can't, like, if you sell somebody something that is the wrong thing, like, let's say you're buying somebody, like you're selling somebody a gun and, it's supposed to do one thing, or like it's like it's got a serial number that's like been burned off with like acid. I think that's actually not how you do it. You have to do it another way. But anyway, the point is that if you can still find it, if you use the acid burn that catches like the letters in between, well, basically, you scammed them, right? It's filed down. Yeah, you scammed them, and so you operate on a degree of trust and a degree of what do you call it? Personal relationship that you don't have in a lot of cases when you buy something from, let's say, Walmart. Because if you buy something from Walmart and it doesn't work, you can just return it and it's easy. If you buy something like this and it doesn't work, you have a huge problem. So oftentimes the people that do this stuff, they're just doing it for money. It's not like they might like the job and find it fun, but the part of it they find fun is probably the business building aspect of it, and not necessarily the, thanks for the subs, man, I appreciate it again. And not necessarily going out and shooting people. Why would they want to do that? There's no reason for them to want to do that. It's about reputation. Chat doesn't get it. Yeah, you don't want to be put in that position. Like, for example, like if you're the cartels, why would you want to kill American citizens? Because now you're attracting attention from the entire American government. Like, things are great. Everything is fine. You're making your money. You've got a nice house. You've got every car that you want. Why are you going to fuck this up? Yeah, you're killing the customer base. Exactly, right? Yes. And so a lot of these people that are criminals, yes, they will resort to bad behavior, but this isn't really what they want to do. This is usually a last resort that they can't do anything else. There are exceptions. Obviously, there's always exceptions. There's mad dogs, etc. But I think in a general way, that's true. The game taking over buildings, your logic doesn't match the facts. Well, that gang got shut down really fast, and I think that's the proof that I'm trying to get at, is that gang that gets taking over buildings, that guy got arrested like today or yesterday. So that's the whole point, right? Is like they just immediately shut that guy down because he's going off the edge. So the fact that you know about them and they're getting arrested proves what I'm saying. These people in a lot of cases just want to make a lot of money, and they don't care about the morality of what they're selling, but they act in a way that's respectful. All I'm saying is that of all of the people that do things that are illegal and all of the Walmart managers that I've met, the people that do things that are illegal are way more polite and reasonable.
Absolutely.
They have to be.
We already caught 8 from Tajikistan planning a terrorist attack. Luckily, the intelligence community caught them on a chatter. But the intelligence community is not perfect. They missed Afghanistan. They missed 9/11. They're not perfect. So I agree with Christopher Wray, even though I have no respect in Christopher Wray. Me and him agree on one thing. What they've done on the southern border is the biggest national security vulnerabilities this nation ever seen. We see more red flags than ever before. Something's coming. And I hope President Trump's in the Oval Office when something does come, because he'll take control of it.
I've been saying it's a matter of when, not if, and I pray to God that I'm wrong. What do you know about the Border Patrol agents exchanging gunfire with Mexico drug cartels from earlier?
Jesus.
They're taking gunfire, and it's going to get worse, Sean, because President Trump's going to seal that border. He's going to put the cartels out of business. He declared them a terrorist organization. We got the whole of government is going to dismantle these people and wipe them off the face of the earth. They're not going to go. They're not going to go lightly. We're taking them out of the trafficking business. We're taking them out of the smuggling business. We're taking them out of the dope business. There's going to be more violence on the southwest border. That's why Trump committed to calling the terrorist organization. He has. That's why the entire United States government is going to take care of those people and abolish them. We're going to attack them.
And I think this is also another component of this. I think this is something that the average American person supports. I do.
Not just in Mexico, but in the 42 countries that Jalisco cartel is currently residing in.
This is my opinion, right? My opinion. I think that these people are much more of an existential threat than ISIS ever will be. They're too busy on the other side of the world fighting each other. These are the people that are affecting us directly.
The Trump administration is going to take them on just like he did the caliphate, and we're going to destroy them.
All right, Tom Homan, great job. First week on the job, terrific. We really appreciate your time and putting up with the crazy media. And if you want to get your message out to the American people directly, it's clear they support the president's policies. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it is. When did the crisis start? All of a sudden? Well, I feel like it's been going on for a while, obviously. Everybody's got good goals, but the methods will be used long after the purposes, and that we cannot foresee. I mean, what method? Like the method of secure? Like, I don't understand. What, you've got to be a little bit more specific on that, right? I think that's what would make sense. So yeah, cartels have way more routes than the southern border. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, like, it's their job. I mean, the people that run the cartels aren't stupid. Like, these guys are really smart, especially the ones that are at the top. Like, many of them are college educated. They're not like goons and like fucking these like random, like, yeah, these are businessmen. These are people that are intelligent, respectful, measured, and educated. That's the truth. So yeah, of course they've got other solutions. Absolutely. They have submarines. Yes. Respectful. Absolutely they are. Yes, of course. Like, why would they go around causing trouble? How does that benefit them? These are people who are out for themselves. These are people who are pinnacle individualists in a lot of cases. They want to make as much money as possible. Why are they going to go out and start trouble with everybody? Yeah, they're respectful in their own way. Yeah, exactly. Anyone who's spent any time on Live Leak knows how dangerous cartels can be? Well, all I'm saying is that usually in the case, like, I'm not trying to defend them, okay? All I'm saying is that it's not just a bunch of, like, random goons and, like, morons. Yeah, these people are smart, and they're not completely, like, uneducated either. And so that's my point that I'm making. And so you know, there it is. Any goons in chat? Yeah, sure. And it's like, I'm just trying. It's organized crime. Yeah, there's a reason why it's called organized crime. It's because that's the way it works.